The sun continues to shine brightly, illuminating the Azur River Harma, which flows through the middle of the city, dividing the grand castle from the rest of the city. In the middle of the river stands an ancient bridge, adorned with golden statues of gods. A gentle breeze lifts dust from the statues, carrying it towards the slums not far from the brothel. Flies buzz around, swarming the lifeless bodies of courtesans. One of the flies lands on Ray's lifeless face. In the distance, the sound of galloping hooves grows louder. Emperors from all southern empires are heading towards the bridge with their guards and advisors. They arrive and find Amazis standing on the bridge, holding a glass of wine. Alfar addresses Amazis.
Isn't it a bit early for a drink, Lord Heir? To clear one's mind of troublesome thoughts, it's never too early, Lord Advisor.
Nariad points towards a figure slowly approaching them.
Here comes the Emperor.
Everyone hurries to gather and bows before Yedor. The sun continues to shine brightly, illuminating the Azur River Harma, while the wind lightly brushes against the marble statues on the ancient bridge. The Empire of Azur bustles with activity, resembling a beehive, and the morning gallop of the steeds against the beautiful landscape adds to the majestic view. Emperors with their advisors and guards approach Yedor. Yedor, the ruler of the southern empires, addresses them with a serious expression.
I believe you all understand the situation. Danger threatens each of us. Your task is to prepare the finest troops and send them, along with your commanders, to Azur. After the meeting with the Northerners, we will unite our armies and annihilate the Phoenix.
Adalwyn nods, expressing agreement. Sitara voices her concerns.
My Lord Emperor, what if Phoenix destroys our empire in the absence of our forces?
He will burn it even with your armies, just as he did to Nudia. Your army alone cannot withstand his might, Sitara. We must unite to stand a chance. Remember, I command as the Emperor of the South, not asking you as some friend.
As you command, Lord Emperor.
Sitara nods, and then all the present emperors repeat the gesture, confirming their agreement.
Good. Set forth and fulfill the will of the Lord Emperor, Alfar. And you, tell your Emperor that I will be visiting him soon. Your command will be carried out, Lord Emperor.
Yedor gestures for Amazis to follow him, and they head towards the castle. The others mount their horses. Meanwhile, Abe approaches Sitara.
And what was that about? Do you know something we don't?
What do you mean? I have no idea.
You know exactly what I mean.
I don't, my lady.
Adalwyn, noticing the misunderstanding, joins the conversation.
Let's set out on our journey quickly. We must obey the Lord Emperor's orders.
Abby nods. Everyone mounts their horses and moves forward. A raindrop falls on Abby's face, and she quickly wipes it away, looking up at the storm clouds in the sky. In the Empire of Dan, in the north, heavy rain pours down. The guards protect the perimeter, sheltered under waterproof fabric. In the hall of Arha, Tivad and Gideon continue to argue. Gideon, smoothly approaching Tivad, asks,
How long will you keep silent, elder brother?
What do you want to hear, dumb idiot? My consent to kill our brother.
Brother? Are you serious, Tivad? He sided with the Southerns, destroying Zeno.
Zeno crossed the line, and you know that. If not for Jetter, we would have been annihilated by Phoenix for our father's sin. He established peace and stability, which we have maintained for 300 years or more. We cannot allow it to be destroyed.
You're mistaken, big brother. He plans to conquer the entire world, and I won't be a victim of his games. We must outwit him and kill him.
Gideon, don't play with fire. Dare not speak such things in my presence ever again.
The atmosphere becomes tense and emotions run high. Gideon continues to insist on his idea.
But it's the plain truth. He'll destroy all of us. Imagine if he gets hold of your godlike power. We, you and I, can destroy him and then take control over our lands. Hold the icy rings, hold the continents. The world will be bent to our will.
Tivad disagrees and tries to persuade his brother.
I don't want to hear this nonsense anymore. You're intoxicated with wine, brother.
Tivad heads towards the exit, but Gideon persists.
Just think about it. Consuming empire after empire will become immortal and invincible.
Tivad responds irritably.
Madness of our fathers speak through you. Enough of this. If our father could have achieved it, then with a fraction of his power, we won't either. Not only the loss of land awaits us, but the destruction of our people. Just like what happened to the Ishasas and their leader, Idiot.
Tivad leaves, and Gideon, dissatisfied, pours himself more wine, mumbling to himself.
And father called you his favorite son, huh? What a traitor. Then you leave me no other chance.
The sound of rain subsides and the clouds move south, where the empire of Nyralandia is located with its emperor, Sif. A servant walks up to Sif and gives him a letter sealed with the imperial seal. He opens it and reads it.
Thanks a lot, now you can go.
The servant leaves. Sif stands before his son, Sigdan, who has just finished a training session in practice armor. He looks young and energetic.
Not bad, my son. But remember that the power of the gods requires physical strength and mastery to use it properly.
I understand that, father.
Good, give it your all in the next training session.
But why do you want to pass the power of gods to me? You will die, and I don't want to lose you.
I am already tired, my son, and passing the power to you, my only heir, will be the best thing I've ever done.
What does that mean, father?
I'm not ready for that conversation yet. But when you will get the power of the gods, you will remain at the same age as you receive the power, but each subsequent use will age you and deplete your life force. Even when you're old, you'll look very young.
And how many others like you? I mean, the immortal ones.
We're not immortal, my son. We've simply learned to cheat death, but it always follows us. Your question is complicated to answer. Initially, there were very few like us, but sometimes children are born with the power of the gods manifesting without the ritual of transfer. So it's hard to say exactly.
Commander of Nyralandia, Armander, approaches Sif and kneels before him.
Order executed, my lord.
Thank you, my dear friend. And now go and find Adela. I need to talk to her.
As you wish, my lord.
Armander smiles and nods, then leaves. Sigdan continues the conversation with his father.
Why do you treat them like that? They're just servants, right, father? We should humiliate them and keep them in their exact place.
Did I teach you that, my son?
No, but mother always says that we are special and the rest are just garbage.
We'll talk about this later, but remember, respect everyone you deal with, without exception.
After that, Sif heads to the throne room of Nyralandia and closely examines his throne adorned with precious gemstones. Behind him, his wife Adela approaches and sits down on the stool.
Sit, my dear, we need to talk.
Adela, sitting on a chair eating grapes, look at Sif's eyes.
I'm listening, my lord.
Have you heard the news?
Which one exactly?
The news about the Phoenix?
That one. Yes, of course.
And what do you think about it?
I don't believe that an extinct people can rise again, especially the Phoenix himself.
What about our scouts report?
They saw what they saw. You know Yador, he clearly understood his weakening state and came up with another plan. His strength lies in the fear of the unknown. He knows that as soon as Sitara and the others sense his weakness, they'll seek revenge for all his actions. So he devised that the mighty Phoenix has risen again. It's meant to scare everyone.
I don't know, but I still trust my intuition, no less than your opinion, Adela.
And what does it tell you, my lord?
It tells me that Yador didn't come up with anything. He would have had the wit to make a deal with Tivad behind our backs and destroy us before we could rise in rebellion. There's no point in playing games. Even with our army, I couldn't stand against them alone.
The key word being alone, dear. That's why he wants to gather all the armies in Azure, so the entire South won't unite when he sets out to exterminate us all for the Northerners.
No, that's not his style. He's too clever for such a childish plan. Besides, a united army in Azure is very dangerous. We could seize the largest empire. Why would he take such a risk?
You know he has something hidden under Azure. Don't be a fool, my lord.
All right. Let's wait for Alfar and convene a council.
Meanwhile, Amazis heads to the giant and majestic botanical garden of Azure. He walks through a beautiful waterfall, surrounded by ancient gardens. Approaching the center of the garden, he meets 3 men dressed similarly to him.
Greetings to you.
The first one, Mafdeth, steps closer to Amazis.
We are eager to see the Lord, not you, Worm.
What a pervert. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint in you. You won't see him here for sure. By the way, how was the meeting at the Citadel of Miro? I bet all my savings that after you tell him why you came here, Mentor ordered all of you to wipe out all the toilets to perfection.
Standing next to Mafdeth, Nebi embraces Amazis, laughing.
And I missed you all the way. I kept saying how much I missed the jester, with the chin shaped like a boot.
Amazis smiles. The last advisor, Odion, approaches them with an obviously displeased expression.
Amazis, stop this babbling. Tell me, where is Cheddar? I need to give him something.
Tell you? Isn't Mavdet our leader?
We all have equal standing, even you.
Even me? Don't forget who's the heir to the throne, my friend.
Don't make me laugh. You'll never get the throne. You're just a pathetic shadow left from your family.
I hope I don't need to remind you what happened to your...
Stop arguing. Amazis, tell us where he is.
He asked not to be disturbed. And if I were in his place, I suggest you go somewhere far, far away for the second time, so you don't get in the way.
There you go. That's why I missed this one. Alright, let's go to the tavern. We need to quench our thirst properly. And you, Master Odion, and Master Mafdeth, go look for the Emperor in the castle.
Meanwhile, a young lad, Kira, approaches the gates of the Dan castle, carrying something wrapped in rags. Approaching the castle gate, Kira notices a carriage with Amorian horses and the emblem of the Fallen Order. A guard approaches Kira slowly.
Hey, please be kind and inform Lady Crone that the Imperial Blacksmith is here.
The Dan guard steps closer to Kira.
Maybe I should tell her that he covered for me whilst the lance is here.
Then, a lady will be puzzled as to why a lowly dog from the Imperial Guard dares to call the great blacksmith covered.
The guard's expression changes, and he angrily tries to attack Kira. Kira steps back and draws his exceptionally beautiful sword, crafted by himself.
Come on, let's see who still is stronger.
The guard sheathes his sword back and disgruntledly enters the castle. Kira sits nearby the entrance, keeping an eye on his surroundings. Meanwhile, the ground momentarily casts a shadow as a gigantic ice dragon flies overhead. Kira looks up with enthusiasm. Unnoticed by him, Crone approaches.
Aren't they magnificent?
Kira turns to Crone, lowering his sword.
Nothing here can compare to your beauty, my lady. But yes, they are truly captivating.
Kira lifts his sword. The guard standing next to Crone steps closer to Kira.
Pathetic worm. I know what you burden. Get out of here.
If you speak to my guest like that again, you'll lose your head.
The guard is intimidated by Crone's gaze.
Forgive me, my lady.
And now apologize to him.
The guard looks puzzled at Crone.
Apologize? But my lady, how can an order and apologize to?
Crone's gaze changes.
Of course, as you wish, my lady. Sorry, blacksmith. I didn't mean to offend you.
Crone smiles. The guard leaves.
Thank you, my lady.
No need to thank me.
Crone descends the stairs and approaches Kira.
Did you make everything as I requested?
Yes, my lady. Everything exactly as you asked.